Hey guys, welcome back, Team Jason and Team Jason's Homeless Show. It's another behind the curtain look at episode 8, and I'm about to blow your mind. Check this out. Whoa! Right? You're thinking, Jason, did your arms grow 4 feet? No, they did not grow 4 feet. I got a selfie stick. Ta-da! I didn't just get a selfie stick, I also got this cool little clip thing. Coil that I'm gonna show you, and it holds your phone, and it's got this real strong coil and a clip, so you can clip it to anything. And back on the selfie stick there. This also has one of those mic things that goes, there it is, goes into the stick, and I tested it real quick just now, and I'm worried the volume's not gonna work right, and I'm not doing this video again, because I can't, because I'm leaving where I'm at right now. That's right, today is moving day. Again, so right now we are back under the bridge doing an inventory of our gear, some of which we've acquired in the past couple days. We've got a lot to catch up on. So, let's go up here where it's a little quieter. Shit. Alright. I was wondering how the light was going to be. Yeah, it's pretty good. Alright, so I am back in Philly. This is not a test run like the other video that I did, which was a test run, and tell me that wasn't serendipity. If I had not done this test run, then my situation right now would be completely different. It would probably suck a lot more, and I wouldn't have been as well prepared for it as I am. And I wanted to do kind of a recap of that trip, because man, it was one of those life-changing experiences. And what I mean by that, I mean that you ever have one of those experiences that makes you believe in God? It was literally like that for me. Like, it was completely unplanned, and it was almost like I was being taken on a guided tour, and someone was taking me by the hand and leading me down all these different paths, and they were all connected. And I know I sound like I'm high right now. I'm not high at all. I got a great night's sleep. I drank coffee this morning, had Popeye's chicken, completely sober. I'm gonna get a beer after this on my way to where I'm going though, because I'm thirsty. But speaking of being thirsty, like earlier today, I was really thirsty, and what did I stumble upon but an unopened bottle of water? Like, where'd that come from? The other day I was thinking, man, I really wish I had some extra bags. And what magically fucking appeared before me, but 2 practically brand new, well, one's the handle pull john's broken, suitcases. Look at these things. So there's 2 of them. I did not have luggage that nice when I wasn't homeless. In fact, I didn't have clothes that were this nice when I wasn't homeless. And I found these clothes under a bridge. I'm talking about like authentic Ralph Lauren polo shirts, Nike dry fit collared shirts. There are a pair of practically new Air Jordans, but they're size 7. So, you know, that sucks. If I were a size 7, and this is one of the times in my life that I wish I was a size 7, because you know what they say about guys with size 7 shoes. But the point is that, what was the point? The point is that everything that I've needed has just magically appeared when I needed it, like the second that I needed it. Like, if I needed, this is just an example, but $2.50 to take the bus, because SEPTA just went up. It was $2.25, now it's $2.50. I would have $2.45 and find a fucking nickel while I was standing waiting for the bus. And something similar to that actually happened. I was taking the bus and I had exactly $2.50. Just a random amount of money, and I needed exactly that to get to Walmart to pick up a MoneyGram that my Aunt Missy sent to me. Thank you for that. And I've never been a religious guy. I've mentioned in the past that I was kind of a militant atheist for a while, and I studied religion pretty extensively, not as extensively as someone I know that watches my videos. She actually has a PhD, not PhD, bachelor's in religion. She went to school to study religion, and she's a Muslim. And she would like to remain nameless, so I'm not going to name her. Your secret's safe with me, baby. And all your secrets are safe with me. In fact, I'm going right now to meet a total stranger. I have never met this woman before. And I checked in with her to let her know I was about to film this video and told her, you know, if you don't want me to name you, you don't want me to name your town, you don't want me to say how we met, then, you know, I won't do that. And she just said, yeah, just, you know, whatever, just don't, you know, say my name. So I won't, and I will extend that same courtesy to anyone, any of my friends, any of my enemies. By the way, I'll talk about that in a sec. But yeah, your secrets are all safe with me. I'm not a snitch. In Philly, we don't snitch. We created those T-shirts that say "Stop snitching." You know, no one here is trying to save the world. Certainly not me. I'd like to, but I know that it's not my place. It's not possible. I'm going to try in my own way, but I know that I'm not going to try by snitching on people that could, you know, put a bullet in my head under a bridge. For instance, I almost filmed episode 8 yesterday. In one take, in one shot. I was in a bad mood. And I have a rough idea of the topics I'd like to cover in episode 8. I'm not naming any names. And the reason that I need to point that out is that, you know, I know some people that, you know, have done bad things. Some of them I know personally, some of them I don't know personally. I walk by them in a crowded bar or something, and, you know, I don't even know their name. And I don't know any identifiable information. Certainly nothing that would help law enforcement if they locked me in a room or whatever. Well, I got this random message on some internet thing, and this guy let me know that he was watching me, and he kind of indirectly told me how we might know each other, and man, I don't know you, them, or anything about any of that, so yeah, if you want to come put a bullet in my head, I'm not hard to find, but, you know, it would have been for no reason. I don't know anything about anything, officer. So, you know, enough about that. What was the other thing? Right, I had posted on Facebook the working title for episode 8, and it is called Mental Illness. Not my own mental illness, because believe it or not, I am not mentally ill. If I were mentally ill, I would know that I was mentally ill. I am, fortunately or unfortunately, it's a blessing and a curse, I guess, one of the most self-aware people that I've ever met. When I'm fucked up, I know that I'm fucked up. I may not even be able to control it, but I know that I'm fucked up. When I'm delirious from lack of sleep, which I've been, you know, recently, I'm fully aware that I'm delirious from lack of sleep. And that had always been kind of a puzzling question for me. Do crazy people know that they're crazy? For instance, someone who has Alzheimer's, and they are lucid one minute, and then the next minute they don't remember their wife or their husband or, you know, their kids. Do they know that they're mentally ill? My only, well, not my only, certainly not my only, but one kind of fun experience that I had with that was many years ago at a post office. I came outside the post office, and this old guy was wandering around in the parking lot. I forget who approached who, but it was obvious he was lost or something, and he's looking for his car. I'm like, all right, yeah, let's find your car. What kind of car is it? He didn't remember what color is it. He thought it was blue. Do you have keys? pulled out some keys. They weren't car keys. I said, where do you live? And he didn't have ID. So I said, how about I drive you around? Do you live around here? Next thing you know, we're driving around. Didn't take him long to point me in the right direction. We pull up outside of a house. And he starts to get out, and a neighbor, the next door neighbor, sees him. And he comes walking up. He's like, where have you been? Like, he's talking to me like, who are you? I said, oh, he was at the post office. He couldn't find his car. Turns out the guy was, I don't know, out of it. Old, maybe Alzheimer's, forgetful. And, you know, as we said goodbye, he squeezed my arm so hard, as if to say something, whether it was thank you or whatever, you know, I don't know. Maybe it was, you know, don't let these people take me or something, but I had a feeling he knew that I helped him in some way. And the other reason that the working title of episode 8 is going to be mental illness is that I think that as a whole, as a humanity, as a society, we all suffer from some type of cognitive dissonance, some PTSD-like feelings, emotions from time to time. We can all experience anxiety, depression, and things like anxiety and depression. They are supposed to be natural. You know, the whole fight or flight response is designed to keep you alive in situations where my video is fucking up. I can see myself, but I see myself like seconds later. All right, fuck it, I'm going anyway. So there are other cultures, like indigenous cultures, and we've been able to communicate with them, building like a common language, a way to translate words and phrases. And when we try to translate things like anxiety and depression, they're all too common in modern society. They don't understand the concept of that. Like, you're sad for no reason. Why are you sad for no reason? That doesn't make sense here. You have anxiety. Well, we have that too when we're being chased by a tiger in the jungle. Yeah, and we run, and then when we're safe, we don't have that anxiety anymore. Well, Americans, we tend, not just Americans, modern people, we tend to suffer from those ailments even when we're no longer in those situations. We suffer from things like anxiety and panic attacks and just malaise, like a general sense of knowing something's wrong, but we don't know what it is. And I've spent a good portion of my life trying to identify what that is. What is wrong that we're all too aware of, but we can't really put our finger on it. We know something's not right, but we don't talk about it. It may not be safe to talk about it. We don't want to be ostracized. Thank you for that word. Someone just said that word to me, and it's the perfect word. We don't want to be ostracized from our group. And that's the reason that we often subscribe to collectivism and group thinking and consciousness and all that. So where I was going with that is that that's what I'd like to talk about in episode 8. But it's a big topic, a lot to cover. I want to do it in one shot because you know, that guy may kill me and whatever. I may get locked up because I'm going to talk about my daughter and my daughter's mother, and she'll try to get me locked up because that's her thing, and that's okay. I don't care. I spent 6 years not having a chance to tell my story, and I think that's really all that I want from this. I mean, I was sitting under the bridge the other day, and I posted on Facebook something like, you know, an hour ago I was thinking about hanging myself under a bridge, and now I'm not, because I'm out eating a cheesesteak. Just heard the news that George St. Pierre choked out Michael Bisping. That's fucking awesome. Glad to hear that. I like Mike Bisping too. He had a long road, finally made it to be champion, and he lost to another champion. So I was psyched to hear that, and met up with some friends, went out, partied, made bad decisions. But when I mentioned that an hour ago I was thinking about hanging myself under a bridge, I was not actually contemplating hanging myself under this bridge. What I was thinking about was that I used to think about hanging myself all the time, and I mentioned that in episode 1. And I have not felt like that since episode 1. Since before episode 1. Since, the day I chose to be homeless. And what brought those thoughts about was I had been awake 2 days, and I was tired. So tired that I didn't even go watch that fight. I was just gonna crash and catch the news later. And when I got to the bridge, it was like I was home, and I was happy to be home. And I laid in bed, and I started to doze off, and I thought, yeah, this would be a nice place to hang myself. And the reason that was so strange was that I used to think about that every night. That's how I would go to sleep. It was like my lullaby. I would have a couple little fantasies that would put me to sleep. And I know that we all do that. We all have some escape from reality, because otherwise we're laying in bed and we're anxious and we're worried about our mortgage or our car payment or whatever, and we can't sleep. So some of us count sheep. Some of us plan murder suicides. Some of us, have fantasies of going to Vegas and shooting a bunch of concert goers. And one of mine used to be just going to the woods and hanging myself. And why that? Because I had all this anxiety, like this pain, this fucking malaise, this just anguish. Lights getting bad. Over minor things, When you're in a situation like this, all you really have to worry about is food, shelter, water. So I have very few legitimate worries right now. I'm not worried about money. I don't have any bills to pay. I just found out that you can get 3 meals a day in Philadelphia pretty much every day, 365 days a year. I have found enough blankets, clothing, and toiletries and prescription drugs and toothbrushes to start my own pharmacy, my own dental practice, my own thrift shop, my own homeless shelter. And we're gonna inventory all that stuff in a sec. Quick version, because I gotta roll. I got places to be. So why am I on the road? Where I was staying with my buddy, he had apparently been going through some of his own mental anguish that I wasn't even aware of, and he wasn't even the one that told me. His friend, this girl he knows, told me. And she thought that maybe it would be a good idea if I gave him some time to, work on his own shit. And I recognized some of the symptoms of, what he was going through. Because I've seen him in other people, seen him in myself. But I genuinely thought that me being there was good for him. Otherwise he'd be alone. And, those things aren't mutually exclusive. Maybe it was good for him to, have somebody to vent to drink with, to fucking rage at, whatever. But, maybe he also, needed some time to, deal with his own problems and not so much worry about mine. And I know that he did, because we all do that. We focus on helping others instead of helping ourselves. We sometimes like to see people suffer like we've suffered. You know, the whole misery loves company crowd. Some people cause other people suffering just so that somebody feels the pain that they feel. Well, I'm not that kind of guy, and you know, he wasn't that kind of guy, but he didn't ask me to leave, but I decided that, you know, it may be a good time to ensure that I don't overstay my welcome. So, you know, I vanished on him and checked in with him, let him know, you know, I'll check him in a few days. You know, no worries. Do not worry about me, man. I'm going to be fine. And I am fine. It was amazing that I kind of randomly had this adventure under the bridge last week because I knew exactly where to go. And that's why I wasn't worried about it. So, maybe there's God after all. And he is guiding me on this tour for some purpose that I don't even know what it is yet. And I know that one of the reasons is that it's important that I tell my story. If not for the world, then for myself and for my daughter. Because as I mentioned before, I could see my daughter. I totally could. I don't want to. And I know it sounds like to hear that. Why wouldn't you want to see your daughter? Well, it has nothing to do with my daughter. I don't want to deal with my daughter's mother and her mental illness. And people throw that word around. They throw, everyone's crazy. Oh, you're crazy, that person's crazy, she's crazy, he's crazy. But, some people are easier to lay that label on than others. And we'll talk about that later. For instance, I met a young lady named Gloria the other day. Gloria was an authentic Romanian gypsy hooker and junkie, apparently. How do I know that? Because I could not leave her in a bathroom alone without having to drag her out an hour later. And everything was jinx and the devil, and the devil's in her and the devil's in my mother, and she fucking freak out. Man, we were on the L, and we got off, and she looked down and screamed, "I'm scared." I was like, "What's wrong?" She just went into a panic. Something to trigger her, and she's afraid of heights or something. But man, that was one of many instances where I needed to pull this lady off the ledge. And I did not have sex with this woman. I didn't even give her any money. In fact, she gave me money. She bought me breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and took care of me for a whole day. Slept with me, right on top of me, under that bridge. Offered to have sex with me for free, and I almost did, but I didn't. I said, you know what? Let's do that later. And I've never seen anything like it. This woman was a master con, master thief. She had a different story for every person walking down the block and worked them, and they all gave her money. She was pretty, and that helps. But she was persistent too, and man, I saw her roll up on this couple, hung out with them for 90 minutes, got like over $100 out of them, just spinning them, you know, telling them whatever, while I waited outside, and she signaled me and would like ask me for a light and then whisper to me where to go and like all this weird shit. Anyway, I was waiting for her outside of the bathroom of Fox and Hound for a good 45 minutes. And it was perfect because I was able to take food off of tables as people were leaving and drink beers all free. It was awesome. But this is like the third or fourth time that happened, and I had to explain to her, like, you understand that I'm not going to keep waiting for you outside of bathrooms for hours, and then having to pull you out when you're in there fucking freaking out, or dead, or fucking whatever. And she just looked at me and walked away. And I knew that was gonna be the last time I saw her. I did wait for her to see if she would come back. The last time I saw her was out the window, and she had walked up to some dude, giving him some story as they walked down the street together. And that was the last time I saw Gloria. I hope she's okay, wherever she is. It's unlikely I'll see her again, but you never know, because I've seen a lot of people over the past couple days that I didn't think I was gonna see. Saw my Aunt Missy. It's great to see her. Got a chance to talk to her and catch up. You know, I hadn't talked to her in a while. She helped me out big time, real big time. Gave me money, bought me lunch at Tria. That was nice. And took me to a Metro PCS. So I have cell data on my phone. So we're moving up in the world. Where are we moving to? Chester, not Chester County, but I don't know, the Chester that's has a less than stellar reputation. I have not spent much time in Chester, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure I've seen worse. Shit, I live under a bridge. Now the light's not so good, so damn. I may have to just kind of point from here at what we got. So I've acquired luggage, all kinds of luggage, blankets. My aunt got me this hoodie that is like an inch thick. It was a little chilly. It's too dark. It was a little chilly. So I put that John on last night, and man, I was sweating. I had to take it off. I was like, whoa, this lady's trying to kill me. I'm gonna sweat to death under a bridge in November. I had rigged some bungee cords and tarps, cardboard, blankets. It was warm in my little fort. I had spent some time walking around Northern Liberties looking at things like pallets, maybe build something out of pallets, build a mansion out of pallets. But we're gonna save that for another day. I got a place to stay in Chester. So heading there now. And I'm gonna wrap it up. This video is almost half an hour. And I got shit to do. I gotta take all that stuff and stash it well. Where am I gonna stash it? That's secret. I know where I'm gonna stash it. It's like, I gotta fucking get better at this. Up in like a bridge area where it's nice and dry and high, and homeless people aren't gonna snatch it. If a fucking team of Navy SEAL homeless people with like rappelling gear are looking for supplies, they might find it, but Joe Schmo, average homeless guy, he's not gonna find it. And I like to travel light, so I'm gonna stash this stuff somewhere safe. I'm gonna jump on L at 2nd and Spring Garden right after I have a cocktail at the Foodery, and then make my way to my new place in Chester. I'm not gonna overstay my welcome there, just hang out for a few days while I, you know, take care of my mental health. And I think we should all do that, take care of our mental health. So until next time, take care of your mental health. Episode 8 is coming soon. See you then.